Haley Baumgartner. Good to see you, Haley. Thanks very much for joining us. Now, Hillary Clinton released an attack ad against Donald Trump this morning, calling him out for comments over the Hispanic judge presiding over the Trump University suit. I want to get your take right out of the gate on this. Listen to this. We heard her earlier basically with that ad saying what he said was racist. What's his position on this?
Well, I mean, look, Hillary's trying to divert attention from her, many scandals throughout her life, including the Benghazi, her coordination with the Clinton Foundation, getting, millions of dollars from foreign countries. I mean, her behavior is just dishonest. She's a threat to national security. So this is just an attempt for her to divert attention. And quite frankly, she clearly spent a lot of time all night last night cutting this ad with her team. She should have put this type of effort into preventing Benghazi from happening and many other things that fell through under her watch.
Maybe, but how do you explain the supporters of Donald Trump also saying, look, this was unacceptable, he should not have attacked the judge this way? I'm talking about people like Newt Gingrich this morning, Paul Ryan, all really denouncing what Trump said.
Well, I mean, look, this is a case, this is a private case dealing with the Trump organization, in a private matter, and it should be tried in the courts in front of a jury, not in the media. This speculation is, quite frankly, just free airtime, and it's media hype.
Jagan?
Haley, the issue is from a lot of Donald Trump supporters, people in the Republican Party, is why does he keep talking about it? Why did he start talking about the judge in the first place? Because it highlights a civil suit that, again, the Republicans as well who are talking about it, but he's giving his opponents ammunition, or his opponent ammunition to target him because he's keeping it in the news.
Well, I mean, I think that clearly, Mr. Trump did a round robin of Sunday shows that aired yesterday. We taped Friday in California. And the fact of the matter is, he clarified his position regarding the case. But, moving forward and at this point, it should be tried in the courtroom in front of a jury. I mean, that's everyone's right, when going through the courts, whether the plaintiff or the defendant. And that's where it should stay.
Haley, the former Attorney General for George W. Bush, Alberto Gonzales, came out in support of Mr. Trump. Could you give us some color as to why you think he did that?
I'm not quite sure why Alberto did that. He and I are former colleagues. He's a very respected man in terms of, the Department of Justice and in the legal profession. So, I think it's a good thing that he did, and, I acknowledge him for doing that if he felt that that was the right thing to do.
Kevin Kelly, that's the point. I mean, people do have, the right to question whether or not the judge is going to be fair. But it's been pretty unanimous in terms of the people pushing back on these comments.
Yeah, it's tough. Donald Trump was a private citizen. Now he's a public figure, so everything's going to be highlighted and emphasized even more right now. So every word he says about this is going to come under a giant microscope. But I think it highlights the fact that he's showing that he's showing that people can question things for them. They do have these rights. How he goes about it is a different thing. So I think one of the most important things we need to figure out is that, do you want to vote for someone that is going to operate in the best interest of themselves, or are they going to operate in the best interest of this country? And Donald Trump has shown that he wants to run for the best interest of this country. And the lingering question is that what Hillary Clinton would do?
I agree. I do want to touch on that point. I mean, you're absolutely correct. And the fact of the matter is again, this is a private case. Anyone, can bring a case as the plaintiff, and you can make up salacious claims. So again, it should be tried in the courts, in front of a jury, and not in the media.
Yeah, but there are people who are saying that they were defrauded because of Trump University. I mean, getting away from the actual comments in terms of the judge, what about the issue at hand?
I mean, you can say anything and file a court case. I mean, so let's just be clear on that. So again, it doesn't mean that it has merit because somebody makes that claim and files. Yeah. So it should remain in the court.
Now the focus is on his commentary around the judge, though. Here's Speaker Newt Gingrich on Fox News Sunday this weekend. Listen to this, Haley.
This is one of the worst mistakes Trump has made. I think it's inexcusable. He has every right to criticize a judge. and he has every right to say certain decisions aren't right, and his attorneys can file to move the venue from the judge. But first of all, this judge was born in Indiana. He is an American, period. When you come to America, you get to become an American.
What about that, Haley? Is there a confusion in terms of the fact that this person is American just because he has Mexican ancestry? I mean, should that even have been brought up? He's American, Haley.
I mean, look, Newt is entitled to say what he feels, and, you know, clearly he made those remarks. But again, the fact of the matter is Mr. Trump clarified his position on the Sunday shows yesterday, you know, and that's what should be referenced in terms of his position and his comments. And again, moving forward, the speculation on this case, you know, it should not be played out in the media. That's totally unfair. It would be unfair for anybody going through the court system, again, whether they be the plaintiff or the defendant. It needs to remain in the courts where it can be decided upon by a jury.
Does this stick, Dagan? What do you think?
I think that it's up to, and this is my personal opinion, it's up to the Trump campaign and Mr. Trump himself how much he continues to talk about it and talk about this judge. But I'll point to an editorial that's in the Wall Street Journal today, and President Obama has not been above criticizing the judiciary. Remember, he went after the Supreme Court over Citizens United and even made remarks against Chief Justice John Roberts.
That's right.
Ahead of the Obamacare ruling. However, the Wall Street Journal does write that what elevates Mr. Trump's remarks to the reprehensible is his equation of ethnicity with bias. And that they said nobody should be judged by the ancestry of their parents any more than Chief Justice Roberts should be barred from ruling on religious liberty cases like Little Sisters of the Poor because he is a Roman Catholic.
What about
that's the overarching issue that the Journal touches on this morning.
Haley?
I mean, you know, look, President Obama should be focused on instituting sound policies, preserving our national security, not doing, you know, billion-dollar deals with Iran. I mean, he's been a total mess in terms of his presidency, worse than Jimmy Carter, and that's what he should be focused on. So, you know, I just think it's wasteless rhetoric on his part, and, you know, I dismiss his comments.
All right, Haley, good to have you on the program this morning. Thanks very much, Haley Baumgartner there.